I achieved at 22 what I thought I would in my 30s due to the fact that I figured out how to manipulate time. I figured out how to get weeks worth of progress out of days worth of work, how to get years worth of progress out of months worth of work. You see, everyone wants to make as much progress as possible. They want to find the next hack or tip or trick that allows them to make more progress than they normally would. But the problem is that most people, and I'm guessing you too, think that in order to make more progress, you have to work more, put in more hours, work for longer, and end up burning yourself out. And that's where most people go wrong, because making more progress in a shorter period of time is about working smart, working on the right things and finding the right leverage that allows you to excel in what you're doing. So in this video, I'm going to break this shit down and run you through the 5 methods that I use that allowed me to get decades worth of progress in the time frame of a few years. And I've come prepared, so you're in for a treat. Now, the first thing is understanding that progress isn't linear, progress compounds. And what I mean by that is that typically you would expect progress to look something like this. You expect that the more time you put into something, the more you get out in just a natural kind of gradual curve. But actually, in reality, what progress looks like is more like this. Typically, the work that you put in on a daily basis has little to no effect until it does. And at this point right here is when you start to see monumental results. So this right here is what's known as the plateau of latent potential. And everyone has this point within their journey, a point at which nothing happens until everything happens. And the funny thing is that most people give up along this part, the part where they're not seeing the results of the work that they put in. And that's why 99% of people fail. But this point right here, the plateau of latent potential, is when you start to see your results coming into fruition. That's when people start to see all of the hard work that they're putting in actually come into play and actually start to reap the rewards of all the time that they've spent in the trenches. And the reason I put this as number 1 is because in order to make the most amount of progress possible, you need to understand how progress works. You need to understand you need to fight through this part. You need to fight through the first 1 to 3 to 5 years of your journey to actually get to the point of where you start to see results. Now, obviously, we're talking about making a massive amount of progress in a short period of time. So this is different. But what I'm saying is that in order to make 5 years worth of progress in a 5-month time frame, you need to make sure that you're aware that within the first 4 months, it's likely that nothing will happen. You will get nothing in return for the effort that you're putting in. And like I said, most people will stop after that period. They'll realize that, okay, it's not for me, it's not working. Maybe I don't need a secret sauce. But actually, in order to make those 5 years worth of progress in the 5-month time frame, is the 5th month at which everything comes into play. It's at the time when you least expect it that everything starts to fall into place. The stars align, things start to fall into your lap, and you start to realize that, okay, it wasn't a case of what I did yesterday that has impacted me today, but it's a case of what I did months ago that has impacted me today. And when you realize that, you can start to kind of play the game where you understand that, okay, cool, I can do things without expecting a return. Because when you're doing something and you expect something in return, you start to lose momentum and you lose the discipline and the motivation when you don't get those things in return. But when you play the game and when you take action knowing that nothing's going to happen until months in the future, that's when you can play with this pure discipline and grit, knowing that I don't need to see any results yet. I don't need to reap the rewards of the work that I'm putting in yet, but I know that I soon will. So again, this time frame where nothing's happening can take weeks, months, potentially even years. In most cases, it's actually years. And at this point here is where everything changes. That's where you almost feel like you're an overnight success, but you're not. You're a success based on the work that you put in for months and years. So let's move on to the next one. Now, the second method that I use is quite an unconventional one, but it's actually massively oversetting your goals. Because most of the time when people set their goals, they set goals of what they're comfortable with. For example, they set year-long goals that they genuinely believe that they can achieve in a year's time. But the actual problem with this is something known as Parkinson's Law. And Parkinson's Law basically states that work will fill the time allocated for its completion, which basically means that however long you set yourself a time frame to complete something, it will take that amount of time. So if you set yourself a year to complete a certain goal, it will take you a year to complete that goal. So instead of setting a year-long goal in a year's time frame, instead set a 10-year-long goal in a year's time frame. Because when you do this, there's a very low likelihood that you'll actually complete the 10-year-long goal, right? But I guarantee what you will be is much further ahead than if you were to only set yourself a year-long goal. Because let's say, for example, that you only got 12% of the way there to your 10-year-long goal. That is still well over what you would have achieved in 1 year. Or for example, let's give a more realistic scenario where you achieve 20% of the 10-year-long goal in a year's time frame. Again, you have doubled what you've achieved in a year, which would have taken you 2 years to complete that, if you know what I mean. So that's the second thing, all right? Massively overset your goals. It's a kind of idea of where you shoot for the stars, but you land on the moon. Being on the moon is much better than shooting for the moon and landing, I don't know, somewhere in the atmosphere, all right? And then we move on to number 3, gamify the shit out of your growth. Now, I think this actually applies to a person-by-person basis. I mean, if you're a gamer when you're younger or you play a lot of games now, this is going to be absolutely golden for you. If you've never touched a video game in your life, maybe this doesn't apply as much, but I use this a lot. I mean, I grew up playing all sorts of video games, so actually being able to gamify my progress and gamify my business and my life as a whole allows me to make a lot more progress because I can make it into into something fun. Because the way that I like to see it is that when you're starting off at level 1. And that level 1 version of you has nothing. You have no experience, you have no skill points, you have no, no power-ups, no abilities, absolutely nothing. And that's, what you would expect. And in order to play the game of life and beat the game of life, you have to naturally level yourself up. Which means that if you want to go from level 1 to level 2, you need to do what you would expect if you were going to play a video game. You need to acquire experience points, you need to develop skills, you need to unlock new abilities, and you can only do that through doing. So for every new skill you learn, for every new book you read, for every new course you buy, for example, you're leveling up your skills, your experience, and also your failure points. And when you stack these skills and these experience and these failure points up and up and up, you continue to scale the ranks. You continue to go level up and up and up again. And I suppose this is just a much more fun way to experience the growing pains that you're guaranteed to experience as you scale in business and in life. Because then reading that new book doesn't become so tedious and annoying. It actually becomes something fun because as a result, you get to add some more XP onto your hotbar, right? And with the XP that you gain, you're then able to open up more doors, and those doors leads to opportunity. It leads to meeting new people. It leads to new areas of business, new areas of life, whatever that may be. The whole point is that you start off at level 0 or level 1 with nothing, okay? In order to scale in life, in order to improve in life, you have to level up, and that's through learning, developing, trying, failing again. Through that process, you'll become a higher and a higher level until obviously the goal is to max level, right? So the way that I like to see it is to see yourself as this character in the video game. You are the person who is leveling up. You are the person who can do whatever they want to do with their life as long as you go through the process of gaining XP, leveling up, developing yourself in every area that you possibly can. And then the fourth method that I always use in order to make as much progress as possible is to look for leverage in every single thing that you do. Now, leverage is the idea of basically use something that already exists to further your own cause. And this is applicable to every single area of your life, okay? Because leverage is always apparent. You just have to go out of your way to find it. And the way that I think it's important, especially when it comes to making progress, is to focus on what's known as high leverage actions, okay? Because if you're trying to make a lot of progress in a short period of time, you basically have to be the decipher. You have to battle between what you do and when you do it, and you have to be the decision maker. In order to make the most amount of progress possible, you've got to make sure that you're doing the right things and you're doing the things that are going to have the most profound impact possible. Because when you woke up today, you had a choice to make, okay? You had a choice of what you wanted to focus on, what you wanted to do today that was going to move the needle forward in order for you to wake up tomorrow and feel proud of what you did the day prior. And most people don't actually know what high leverage actions are. They don't know how to identify high leverage actions, and therefore they spend their time on incredibly low leverage actions that don't actually move the needle forward as much as they possibly could. So how do you find high leverage actions? Well, I like to do what's known as getting rid of the fluff. So let's say, for example, that you have a to-do list. Okay, now it's your job as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to live the best life possible, to identify what those high leverage actions are. So I would personally look at your to-do list, write out your to-do list of what you're going to focus on tomorrow or today, the day you're doing it, and look at everything that you've written down. Okay, and I want you to be critical. I want you to be brutal with looking at your own to-do list and basically start to cross off everything and anything that doesn't actually move the needle forward and isn't absolutely crucial. And what you'll find after doing this is that you actually have a lot of fluff on your to-do list, a lot of things that you've put on there that don't actually make too much of a difference. As in, when you're going to wake up tomorrow, do they have an impact on how you have spent the previous day or not? Because it's very easy to fall into the trap, especially as a young entrepreneur, someone who's managing a lot of things, to try and do everything and anything. But very rarely are those the actual things that move the needle forward. Most commonly, you actually have to identify the very few things that you have to do during your day that's actually going to make a difference. And it's pretty impossible for me to just tell you what those leverage points are within your own life, because I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what business you're running. I don't know what you're pursuing. So it's hard for me to just say that's the thing you've got to focus on. But you'll start to identify it. I mean, an easy way to look at it as well is look at what you've always spent your time doing, okay? And ask yourself, are you in the position that you want to be in? And if the answer is no, then you've got to look at what you've been doing and play the get rid of the fluff game to stuff that you've already done. Right? You can go back through your old to-do list and try and identify things that you spent your time doing that you know deep down now have not actually helped you get to where you want to get to. And when you start to cross these things off going forward and just leave room for the things that you feel like are actually doing something for you, that's what's going to help you make the most amount of progress possible. For example, a really easy high leverage task that you could do within your life, and no matter what you're doing, I know this is a high leverage task because it has been one for me, is make content, right? If you run a business of some kind or you're an entrepreneur of some kind and you want to grow the business, content is one of those things that is incredibly high leverage, because you can make a piece of content and that piece of content can be seen by a million different people. And that is marketing that you've just done to a million people that you don't have to do by, I don't know, designing a billboard and putting it around your city. I also like to look at it from the analogy of the tree, right? Where your goal is to find the lowest hanging fruit that you possibly can on that tree that's actually going to help you make progress. And content is one of those examples where it's incredibly low hanging fruit, because if you have a phone, if you have access to the internet, which I know you do because you're watching this, you can make content, you can build yourself a personal brand, you can grow your business, and that can have profound effects on the progress that you make in the time frame that you're trying to make it in. And this leads very, very nicely onto the fifth point that I'm going to mention. Okay, the fifth method that I've always used to make a ridiculous amount of progress, and that is produce every single day. Because what you'll come to realize is that in this world, there are two types of people. Okay, there are producers and there are consumers. And these are producers of media, music, art, content, products, life. Like, people who produce something, people who create something, people who make something are the producers. And the consumers are people who eat that stuff up. They are people who buy the products. They are people who watch the content. They are people who just absorb. Now, producers are the people who make the money. And the funny thing is that it's the consumers who make the producers the money, which means that you have a choice to make. You have a choice to either be a producer or a consumer. And now everyone consumes, don't get me wrong. Okay, you're consuming this piece of content, it's absolutely fine. I consume this table technically by buying this table. I consume this mic, it happens. But when you come to make a decision, you can either remain a consumer and only be a consumer, or you can also be a producer. You can be a producer of ideas, of content, of thoughts, of things. It doesn't matter what you're producing, just produce. Because when you produce, you start to make progress. And this is something that I've noticed in my journey. It's something I've noticed in my life. The thing that's allowed me to stand out from so many other people, and the thing that's allowed me to build my business to the point of where I'm at now, making over $1 million a year at 22 years old, is because of this one thing right here. It's because I started producing and I've never stopped producing. But let me tell you, if I remained a consumer, I would still be in the position that I was 5 years ago, working a part-time job, having no idea what to do with my life. Producing is what changed my life. Now, for me, it was content. And I started off with very, very basic stuff. I started off with very baseline level stuff as well. And I worked my way up to more advanced stuff, to building a business, to providing a solution, to producing a program and helping people change their lives as a result. You don't start off that way. You start off very, very simply. And this can be a tweet a day. You can be artists and you can put out your music. You can be whatever you want. Produce things out into the world for other people to consume. And as a result, you will by default make progress. Because it's also the same idea of taking action. All right. If you want to make a lot of progress, you've got to take action. And that's quite self-explanatory. You'll hear me say that and you'll go, yeah, that's obvious. But what are you actually doing as a result of taking action? You have to produce something. Taking action isn't just learning, because that's consuming. In order to actually take action that actually helps you move the needle forward, you've got to produce. And this can be whatever you want. Again, if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to run a business, then producing content or a form of content is going to be your best bet. It's going to be your best friend. It's going to help you make a ridiculous amount of progress in a very short time frame. Because I guarantee that if you have person one and person two, and they're both trying to make the most amount of progress possible in a short time frame, but person one's a producer and person two just consumes for that 3 months that they're trying to make 3 years worth of progress, I guarantee you, I'll put my life savings on it, person one is going to be the person who makes a shit ton of progress, and person two is going to be the person who feels like he's trying to make progress but can't seem to actually get traction under his wheels. Okay, so whatever you do, be person one. Produce and don't stop producing. And that, ladies and gents, are the 5 methods that I've used to make a lot of progress in a very short time frame. And if you want to learn from me directly, if you want to learn how I do what I do and how you can, make as much progress as possible, I'm going to leave a link at the top of the description. Check that out and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.